Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Oakland A's franchise on MLB The Show 23. It is year 6, and we are beginning to approach both the MLB draft and the All-Star break. And right now, the A's are sitting at 39-32. We had a great year last season going to the ALCS, losing, and really showing this team has been rebuilt. But things are always changing with these teams, and a lot of the players that we've rebuilt with are starting to get a little bit older and decline a little bit, and we have other new players showing up, and they're still growing into the players that they could eventually become. So what I've noticed here going through a lot of the feedback is a lot of critical feedback on Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who's been one of the faces of the rebuild, our first big free agent splash, and a player we wanted to build around and hopefully have playoff success with. Last year we achieved that, but this season, Vladdy is taking a clear step backwards. His average has dropped almost 40 points, his on-base percentage is lower, and his slugging, which he's known for, has fallen significantly. He's hit 10 home runs at this point, and it's hard to see him being an all-star, as he has been a couple times in this series. Basically, we're not getting the same impact that we once did, and the offense has taken a large step back this season. I expect that he will opt out of his deal at the end of the year, and then maybe go to a new team. I've seen a lot of feedback, though, to think about trying to upgrade him this year, and I don't know about that, because I feel like our outfield is the greater issue right now. And while Guerrero has taken a step back, he's still a solid player, hitting 253, 357. And I do think there's a very good chance that his second half of the year is better than this. I think he still has that ability. The outfield has been the biggest issue with this team, and it's come to the point now where I'm hitting the outfielders 7, 8, 9, because it's our 3 worst offensive contributors. Aaron Dunn was an all-star last year. It's not going to happen again this season, as his power has seemingly disappeared, or at least been neutralized a good degree. We have Miguel Cabrera here, and he did start replacing Daniel Carlson because of his repeated issues, and this signing overall has not been a good one, even if he was a playoff hero for us a year ago. Yusniel Cruz, top prospect in baseball, he is still developing, and we're going to have to be patient. He's not yet, going to carry this offense, but one day he might. So the way I've looked at it is that I've wanted to add somebody for the outfield, which would take away some playing time from Miguel Cabrera. But I think it would be tough to upgrade the outfield and first base unless you're moving off of Vladimir Guerrero, and I still don't want to do that. So I thought today we'd take some time to think about the trade options here and be ahead of the deadline. No need to wait when we can maybe make moves earlier that could affect our win total in the long run with an extra month or so of playtime. So I look through and I see what teams do I actually consider to be sellers. I didn't look at anybody here in the Central because that division is so wide open. The only teams that I really say are sellers at this point would be the Blue Jays in the East, who are 29-43. And the rest of the American League, honestly, you can make the argument they should not be sellers. And then in the National League, I thought the Mets, they're in last place. The Cardinals are in last place. You can consider the Pirates, even though they're in the mix. But they just haven't been traditionally good in this series, and they're in 4th place. And then you've got Diamondbacks, Rockies you can also consider. Maybe even the Giants, because they're playing only for a wild card and they're far down the list. So I went through some of the outfielders that I thought would make sense for us, and I didn't come away with a lot of players that made sense, but I want to show you the one that makes the most. And that is Pirates left fielder Ian Happ, who is hitting .351 this year with 11 home runs. He's slugging .550, and he's 34 years old. We would have to clear some salary to make it fit, but there is a way to make this work. Ian Happ would give us a switch hitter and an upgrade offensively, I feel, over Dylan Carlson. At least, he's hitting like 100 points higher than him, 130 points or something like that. So if we want to make a move, I think Ian Happ makes a lot of sense. And where does that extra money come from then if we just trade prospects to make it work? I think to clear the $5 or $6 million you'd need, we then trade Jonathan Hernandez literally anywhere and clear the $6 million and just get like a low-level prospect back and then make a move to bring up somebody from AAA. Maybe Gregorio Uribe or Jackie Sechrist, Doug Romero. We could afford to move off of Hernandez. And looking at his more advanced numbers here, I think it's reasonable to think, a team wouldn't mind upgrading their bullpen with him. Let's see here. If we run the trade finder on Ian Happ and see what the Pirates would want, well, they're not giving us a whole lot right now. Like if we say any trade, they want Vladimir Guerrero, one of our top third base prospects, and Cole Phillips. So that trade's just not going to happen. The best first baseman we have internally would be Manny Reyes, and he's on the right path right now, and he's going to be a really good player, I think. He's got great offensive skills, slugging .521 right now down at AA. His defense isn't really developed yet, but he's expected to play first base, so it doesn't have to be phenomenal. But even now, I think it's certainly on the lower end. He probably needs the DH for a while or develop his defense for multiple years at the minors. Ivan Melendez is hitting .183 at AAA, so we're not even going to spend time there. First base is not a strong position here in this organization, so the idea of acquiring an outfielder and a first base that is better than Guerrero, it's just not realistic. Your best alternative is to just play Luis Arraez at first base, which is a totally fine option, but I still think that Guerrero can have a much better second half of the year, and I'm hesitant to think about trading him. Obviously, getting prospects back in return doesn't help us pursue a championship right now, which is where we've become as a team. So you need MLB-ready talent. And a lot of these trade offers come in pretty underwhelming. Yanquiel Fernandez is actually an interesting player from the Rockies. I just don't think that he's this big upgrade that a team like us would be chasing. He does have like 2 years of team control still left, and he's 26 years old, and he's a good defender. Like, I think he's a good player worth pursuing, but he doesn't solve our problems. And really what we need is somebody that can hit lefties, and he's not that guy. Here are the numbers currently against lefties, and Geloff is still doing a great job, and surprisingly, Tyler Soderstrom has also managed those battles quite well, and it's about the only thing that Royce Lewis is doing positively, is this signing has not been very good, and he's eating up $9 million to do it. I think that in hindsight now, it would have been better off to just... well, unless there's an injury and he ends up starting and playing well, but I think in hindsight, Robert Puasson on the bench might be a better player, but then I think you'd remove some of this development because he's gotten hundreds of at-bats down at AAA and it's gone extremely well. He wouldn't have that +6 contact being on our big league bench. So that's just something to think about then. Do we need to go and maybe add a player like Ian Happ? He's having an outstanding year. I'd be surprised if he's not currently, like, the batting title leader. He's behind Carlos Correa. So he's right there having an outstanding season. Bryce Harper's also doing a really good job at 81 overall. He's regressed significantly, but he can still hit righties. Like, that is still elite for him. That's pretty awesome. We'd also have to be okay paying Ian Happ $18.4 million next season, which I think would be probably fine. This contract is what I'd be willing to take on. So we last left off after a nice win for the A's against the Boston Red Sox. We come back the following day and lose 6-2. And in the series finale, Elliott Hughes, 2 to 3 months. That is going to sting. And here in this game against the Sox, we're tied at 1. And the A's end up squeezing out a run late to take it 2-1, both the game and this series. Cole Phillips, by the way, he's had excellent starts since the return of Logan Gilbert, so that looks to be so far the right decision for us. We beat the Blue Jays in our next game, and for some reason, we're deciding to do so much of our scoring in the final innings. I guess it's working somewhat here as we break out another Aaron Don, Luis Arraez lineup, so clearly the simulating still likes putting those two at the top and overriding my decisions there. Cruz and Carlson go yard. Gilbert goes 5 1/3. We are going to get a start in today with Logan Gilbert and see how he is doing. This victory, by the way, is the one that puts us back in first place for the first time in a little while. And right now the division is looking like it's a bit of a 3-team race right now. The Astros could still get in it, but them and the Mariners are below 500. The schedule works out, too, where we don't play the Angels again head-to-head until the end of August, which is kind of disappointing. Looks like the bullpen gave up some late runs in this one, and you just can't count on 2 runs to win you games. And, man, Cam Cope he's taken a lot of L's out of the bullpen. I feel like he's not really thriving in this role, and I want to get him less bullpen innings if this is the way it's going to be. We also have the MLB draft coming up here pretty shortly, and we'll see how well we're able to do. Got Dwayne Whitaker here, who's going to come in 4th on our board, but it's going to be tough to actually get some of these intriguing first rounders picking a lot lower. It's an okay problem to have. I like winning. Well, here we go again. Michael's already got a couple shutouts this year, and he's looking to do it all over again. I'll have to check the Cy Young progress right now because it's hard to think that Michael wouldn't be in line to at least have a shot at doing it again. I know it's been a little bit different year as he's not striking out quite as many batters, but he's truly one of the elite now in the majors. One of the things, of course, I want to see when we get to that point is how easy it's going to be for us to sign Joe Michael, what the numbers end up being. When we started this series, I thought I'd be signing a lot of our players very early to these like Braves-esque long-term deals, and it hasn't really worked out that way, especially because we actually did rebuild the team a bit, and I wanted to keep that money available for upgrades rather than preserving the future, I guess. So 108 pitches in, just struck out Trevor Larnach. Gabriel Martinez now. In there on the outside at 96. And striking him out, he reached back for 99 that time and needs just one more out. In danger of walking or Elvis Martinez. Michael just misses the inside, and the count is really running up on him here. 119 pitches. Be nice if we had an off day in addition to the other 4 starts between now and his next appearance. Got the top edge. 1-2. Would be nice to end it here. One more pitch to the lefty Will Benson. There it is! A strikeout closes the latest Joe Michael shutout as he picks up another win. What is that, like 3 shutouts in his last 6 starts? Hitters still have no clue what they're supposed to do when this guy's on the mound. Don, Vargas, and Reyes all go yard. Beautiful. Again, we score all our runs late. This is an odd trend, and it's just continuing. For Joe Michael, this was complete game shutout number 3 on the season, equaling his career high and now giving him 9 total in the series. And by the way, the strikeouts are on the rise. If the season ended today, he'd be back-to-back Cy Young winner. Back home to take on the Phillies here in a series. Dropping the first 2 and getting swept at home. Didn't see that one coming. Yankees come to town. Penn Murphy shuts them down to end the losing skid. And we come back the following day, hoping we can walk them off. 2 on and 2 down for Luis Arraez. Feel like we play a lot of extra inning baseball this year, and if Arraez doesn't come through, it's going to happen again. There's a strike from Adbert Alzolay. Arraez with an 8-game hitting streak, and he's 0 for 4. The definition of due by his standards. He doesn't stay hitless for long. I don't know about this one. It's going to force the 10th inning. Manuel Margot will face Aaron Ashby as we get extra innings underway. Few players I'd rather have in the 10th inning than Aaron as he tries to pick off the extra inning runner. He's stealing third base. And the throw went wide of the bag. Wow. Oswald Peraza getting aggressive. How many times have you seen the extra inning runner steal third base? So, an extremely tough situation now if you want to keep that run off the board. You got to get strikeouts. Ashby, an inch away. There it is. Strike 3 on Margot. 1 down. And got to do it again now. They don't have Aaron Judge here to hit third. So now it's Jake McCarthy, who was a player I've considered trading for before when he was with the Diamondbacks. And Ashby now with another lefty-lefty matchup, hoping to keep that run off the board. And that's a base hit to right. The run scores as the curveball stayed middle. Oh, they got him picked off over here, or in a rundown. That doesn't happen often. And Ashby strikes out Ryan McMahon to wrap up the top half of the 10th. Now we got to get at least 1. And we're used to scoring all of our runs late anyway, so we'll face A.J. Puck. And it's Guerrero to lead things off. An 0-for on the day. And obviously getting a lot of feedback to move on from Vladimir Guerrero. We could use a clutch hit here. Guerrero takes a strike outside. And a second one on the corner. Find ourselves 2.5 games back now. Wow, the standings have gotten shaken up a lot in a week's time. Guerrero goes down looking. Wow. The Texas Rangers, though, have vaulted into first place, and it looks like the Angels are in 4th. Here is Franmil Reyes now. 1 for 3 on the day. 160 with runners in scoring position. We have to check those numbers. I have a feeling we have terrible runners in scoring position numbers. Oh my! Deep left! It's over! Reyes walks off the Yankees with a 2-run shot. We need more hits like that. Reyes with the game winner. A's win 4-3. Yep, fastball elevated. Reyes not missing. Great way to end this one. Blown save for A.J. Puck. And it looks like this was a 2-homer game for Franmil Reyes. Indeed it was. One of his best games of the season. Let's check out those numbers now. With runners in scoring position, Zach Geloff has done well, 10 of 28. Miguel Cabrera has also thrived. Luis Arraez at 265, Royce Lewis 261, and then it's just a steep drop-off, and now you're in the 230s. Soderstrom's had many opportunities, Cruz as well, but this just hasn't been, I guess, a very clutch team. Miguel Vargas only a 165. It's one of the only things he's not doing well this year. So maybe it's better that he's leadoff and he can be on base for others. But Franmil Reyes was one of our worst performers with runners in scoring position, but he helped us out big time with that hit. But looking at the way the numbers have gone, we're clearly going to move up Soderstrom now because he's actually hitting lefties really well. And we're seeing +4 contact, +6 power. His contact is better against lefties, so he deserves to hit fairly high. Maybe even ahead of Guerrero. We've hit the month of July at 44 and 37. That'll put you in second place here in the West. And we are seeing the Angels cool off. 2-8 over their last 10. The Astros 7-3 over their last 10. So no longer under 500, looking like a struggling franchise right now. We got the Rangers ahead, though, in first place. We're about to go travel and take them on, by the way. We do wrap up a series win against the Yankees. Always a good positive there. With the All-Star break approaching now, we're playing our last series before 7-0 win. Really good offensive day against the Padres. Hitting 2 homers. Cole Phillips goes 8. This guy is red hot right now. He has done an outstanding job. This is the most consistent he's ever looked at the majors. And it's, he hasn't had a long time up here, but the last 4 or 5 starts, everything since Gilbert's come back has been top tier. This is working. What I think we'll do here is we're going to play out this Gilbert start now because I've been wanting to get in a Logan Gilbert game, but I think that next time we got to play with Cole Phillips and talk about his ascension here. Now, with the All-Star game coming up, we'll take a short look here at the voting, and Joe Michael leads the starting pitchers, while Aaron Ashby leads the relievers. Penn Murphy also finds himself in the mix, although not under closing pitcher because he's listed as just the reliever, I believe. Tyler Soderstrom in 4th, probably not an All-Star this year. Guerrero is down the list even further. Arise is in 4th place. At 3rd, Miguel Vargas is in 4th. But it seems like we're not going to have a lot of players this year in the All-Star game. So we're probably not going to focus on it too heavily then. Let's get in this game with Logan in San Diego. Going to be a little bit different lineup here as Miguel Cabrera is actually going to go out and play in right field, allowing Zach Geloff to get a game in at 3rd base. Tyler Soderstrom could use a day off, and we are going to just shake things up a little bit more than normal. But the Padres are having themselves a really good year. Both teams with 37 losses, way above 500. And we'll be facing Dylan Lesko. 18th start of the year. He has pitched 91 innings with a 1.36 whip, 4.14 ERA. And we're going to lead off with Miguel Vargas, who's now not hitting over 300, but still deserving of that leadoff role. Arise is behind him because now we're seeing him hit 20 points plus over Trey Sweeney. So they're kind of swapping roles again here in the starting lineup. Sweeney's gotten a little bit cold lately. Hey, we still got the lead in the MLB with 8 top 100 prospects right now. So we have a good team right now, and we still have youth that can help us out down the road. 3-2 to the leadoff man, Miguel Vargas. Got him with a changeup inside. Pretty good pitch there. When Arise was struggling earlier in the year, I really considered the possibilities of trading him, but he quickly turned things around, and he was also one of our leading home run hitters. So no longer somebody I think we'll be even considering a trade for. Arise rolling slowly to short. He is out by a step. Franmil Reyes leads us with 48 RBIs on the season. And he smokes one to center for a base hit. But here is Vladimir Guerrero, and he really needs to start picking up the pace a little bit. Hitting 260 now, so the average going up. That's a positive. And he's hit 12 homers on the season, 37 RBIs, but not giving us anything close to the elite offense that we were looking for when we signed him years ago. 0-2. Good two-seamer in, and Vladdy is down on strikes. And we'll hand this off to Logan Gilbert. ERA at 4.67, and I know he's missed a lot of time this year, but he has yet to record a pitcher win this season. We're going to try to get him one here today against a really good offense. Ha-Sung Kim in the leadoff role. They got Fernando Tatis Jr., who has, I think, the home run lead in the National League. I see Soroka down below, just went to 5-6. Not sure if his numbers are trending down now or if he's just not getting the runs. Gilbert with a strike, and it's 1-2. Waved at for strike 3. The split gets strikeout number 1. This one is going to find its way through. A base hit for Matt Vierling. And that's going to put a runner on for Ty France, who hits third. Gets a hanging splitter and drives it to Don in center. Just saw the Pirates won their game down below. I want to pay attention to their record. And part of if we make a trade with them, are they still going to be sellers? Or if they get hot and get into the mix, then they might not be a team I consider a seller any longer. We'll see. 0-2 on Pareda. Got him! Wrapping up the first. Yeah, Sweeney's numbers aren't anything spectacular at this point, and the average has fallen, so he'll go back to the middle of the order in the 5-hole. And getting a base hit to right field. Here's Aaron Don. His average is now at 268. That feels like it's getting better. And honestly, with the majority of the offense, I just felt like if we stayed patient, a lot of these players would naturally just start to kind of regress to their mean and get a little bit better play than we saw in the first 40 games. I wish it would record those splits for me. I'd have to go back to a prior episode and compare some numbers. But I think as a whole, the offense has to be better than they were. That gets away from the catcher, allowing Sweeney to move up. Dawn up the middle and through the infield. Sweeney waved around. He will score. And we turn that single into a run rather quickly. Changeup elevated, and right now, he does not have good control of that changeup at all. If he keeps throwing it, we will have chances to add a lot more runs. Geloff now in the 7th spot, and he's just done a really good job in limited opportunities. You got to find a way to play him more often. Don will move here against the breaking ball. He's in there safely. Time that one up nicely with the slower curve. So another runner in scoring position. And Geloff with a drive. Sends it out to deep center field. And Don looks to advance to third base. Yusniel Cruz is up to 9 homers, and the average is climbing from the 220s into the 230s. I think the second half of the year could be very big for Yusniel Cruz. Changeup is in there. We look at it. Not sure what was wrong with that one. We get a breaking ball now, and that's going to fall in. So Lesko, typically in your at-bat, I think about this all the time. You're going to get probably one really good hittable pitch. Lesko gave Cruz 3 in a row. This has the makings for a big day. One guy who has struggled coming off the bench this year is Daniel Susac, and he's only hitting 125 as our backup catcher. Doesn't get too many games played. Soderstrom rarely needs days off when I get into games. And Susac only has 40 at-bats, so it's not like he's getting many starts to begin with. And he's the one that ends our second inning. Good split to start the second inning against Jack Sawinski. I wonder if Tatis got the day off. No way he hit sixth. Yeah, Tatis is not playing today, so we're going to avoid him in this one. I'm hardly upset about that. The 0-2 on to Geloff at third. Good defender. Gilbert quickly getting ahead of Xander Bogaerts. Gets him with the 12-6 curve. Yeah, he's feeling it right now. He gets Andujar as well with the same pitch. Luis Arraez is up to 16 homers now. Last year was no fluke as we chase a changeup there. Let's check out his overall numbers now these last two seasons, or three really. So it was 25 homers back in 2027, the year that was like, wait a minute, this guy's totally altered his game. It did take a step back, but it's clear we're on our way back to being closer to 25 than 18, and his slugging is actually at a career high. Arraez to right field, down for a hit. We're already 3 for 3 when we put the changeup in play. His four-seam is the only pitch we haven't gotten a hit off of because I've been consistently behind it. 1-2 upstairs to Franmil Reyes. Counts even. Okay, that might work. Into right, dump for a hit. I just keep finding a way to get weird singles with Franmil Reyes. Sometimes we just rip the cover off the ball. At other times, it's bad contact, and he just finds a way. So a chance for Guerrero. Yeah, he's grounded into 13 double plays. The game loves to remind me when he comes to the plate. And, a diving or sliding stop. It's number 14. Why'd you have to do that, Xander? And it's not like I'm swinging at a lot of bad pitches with Guerrero that, like, you know, are likely to bounce into double plays. I'm not swinging at just low sinkers and stuff. Like, I feel like I'm getting good pitches to hit. And for whatever reason, he gets on top of the ball now. Sweeney. Ooh, this is going to be tough. Yeah, a little too tough, I think. What I love, though, about the show, as someone who just loves realism and getting immersed into the game, is if you pay attention when you're playing and you can spot trends, like, they'll often teach you a lot more and give you better information than just staring at a guy's ratings the whole time. Like, there are good players with good ratings who do not have good years or consistently bounce into double plays. And you have to understand what's going on with your team based on the results and not whatever their ratings are. Strike 3 on Christian Encarnacion Strand. It must take him like 12 minutes to sign an autograph. Clip the inside. This is clearly a day where Gilbert is feeling it. Consistent first pitch strikes. Good job with his splitter. And we get the runner. That's Daniel Susak's big contribution for the day. Nicely done. And that was on a low split, too. Kim 0-2. Keeps the inning extended. Ha-Sung Kim is not going to give me a strikeout here easily. We've been battling here. A lot of pitches out of the zone. He's showing he can get his bat just about anywhere. But looks at strike 3. Top 4. Sweeney leads off against Dylan Lesko. And now he's struggling to find the zone. But when he has found the zone today, he's been giving us a lot of very hittable pitches. That's one of his better strikes. Nice changeup to follow it up now. Got the corner. You're telling me he missed those 3 pitches and then came back with 3 excellent strikes. That's his best 3-pitch sequence of the entire day. Feel like he's starting to throw strikes that we can do a lot less with. And that is the best inning so far for Lesko. Gilbert is cruising as he opens the 4th with a strikeout of Vierling, and he's up to 7. Not used to these kinds of outings here for Gilbert. This is pretty refreshing against a pretty good offense, albeit without their best player. Weekly chopped on to Geloff. And the second out. That's a deep drive. Don going back. And this is going to run out of gas pretty quickly. Inning over. Gilbert continues to get ahead of the vast majority of batters he's faced. Sawinski 1-2 and a strikeout victim in the 5th. Nothing doing for us in the top half of the inning. We're actually seeing Lesko settle into the game quite well. 2-0. Gilbert keeping the pitch count in check as Bogart's got a good pitch to hit and hit it right to Zach Geloff. No stopping that one. It's a slow roller down the line. And Cruz will fire it into second. That wasn't too bad. Not many base runners in this one for the Padres. Trent Grisham picked up a hit earlier. And we'll bounce this to Trey Sweeney to finish the 5th. All right, a pitching change here for the Padres. Lesko had 2 3-up, 3-down innings, but they're going to call it done after that. 5 innings, 2 runs. Got a decent outing out of him. So Steven Wilson comes out. Arise with a towering foul that he just missed being able to do some damage with. And then it hits him in the lower back. Franmil Reyes stepping in. Looking at a 2-0 count. Got to get ready for the fastball. We have not done a good job hitting that today, and I just didn't see that one as well as I needed to. Sometimes I don't pick up the ball well out of a pitcher's hand, and there's just, if I swing, it's going to be late. Here's a drive towards center, and the former Padre flies out. Kind of forgot he was with the Padres. I think of him more as a Guardians player now, and we've had him in this series for a little bit. Way too high to Guerrero, who again has a runner at first base. I can't believe it. Like, again, oh, it skipped past Bogarts. We catch a break. Arise will hustle and get to third. We don't deserve it. But we got first and third here with 1 down instead of the inning being over. A normally fantastic shortstop just made a very uncharacteristic error. They gave him a hit for that. It was a pretty hard hit ball. It was 104 exit velocity. A hit for Guerrero is what the books will call it. Those who watched know what the truth is about that swing. Trey Sweeney. Under this, and that seems a little too shallow for a rise. Yeah, maybe a little bit. So what about Aaron Dunn? 2 gone in the inning. Inside, and we get ahead. They have a base open. They might just pitch around him here. Good change. A bouncer, backhanded, and Dawn is out. As the Padres keep it a 2-0 game. They went to their bullpen, and we'll start to get some action in ours just to be, ready for whatever happens in this game. But Gilbert going strong, 61 pitches into the day. And a fly towards Vargas with a catch. Good curve against Kim, but this feels like only the beginning with the way he can battle. Checked his swing. Fouled off the split. And taking one borderline. He works it full in the end. And Kim strikes out looking for the second straight at-bat. 9 strikeouts for Logan Gilbert. Threw a perfect sinker this time. Waving at it. Next one would be number 10 for Logan Gilbert. Here's the 0-2. Wow. Gets it on the next pitch instead. What a day for Logan Gilbert. This is probably the best he's ever played in this series. David Bednar is the new pitcher for the Padres. Here's Cruz now. And he smokes a single to center field with a beautiful swing. Finally a good swing on a fastball. Might be the only one of the day. I do want to run here. It just feels a little bit predictable. Curveball, though. That would have been a good time to run. What if we do it here? Cruz gets an extra step. He goes. Pitch was inside, and the rookie is out on a perfect throw. Bottom 7 now, facing the heart of the Padres order. They have 3 hits to this point off of Logan Gilbert. I wonder if they'll look to maybe bring Tatis off the bench at some point in this game. They could use the boost. Oh, he went on a wild sinker from Gilbert. Huge. 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. And that makes it 11 strikeouts on the day. Lifted behind a rise. Gilbert's gotten a lot of, like when they've hit the ball in the air, they've all been like really easy, low contact hits. Now his energy's getting low and the lead's only at 2, so managing this game the rest of the way, I think it's a little tricky. Sweeney gathers, ends the 7th. You know, when a guy gets double-digit strikeouts, it tends to lead to a little bit longer at-bats, and his pitch counts in that range where you're pretty happy taking him out, but he's having clearly a special day. Top of the 8th inning. If we get some extra runs, it makes it easier to leave him in. And Vargas is going to send this to opposite field, but it will be caught. A strike there on a slider from Dylan Coleman. Reyes is up, 2 for 3 on the day. Has a couple singles. And 0-2. Tough start to the AB. Oh boy, this has a chance. Deep left center. But not in Petco. Inning over. Xander Bogaerts not having a terrific offensive impact this year for the Padres. Still had a key defensive blunder in this one. Ultimately, it didn't lead to any runs. Clipped it. And a base hit finding its way into right field. I did start warming up Aaron Ashby because in 2 at-bats they'll have a lefty. And I wasn't sure what the situation would be once we got to that lefty. Gilbert, 85 pitches in, gives up a fly in right center that Vargas can't get to. And the runners are now at first and second. And the writing's on the wall here for Logan Gilbert. Day's done. And the Padres got a threat. So we're putting in our best. Aaron Ashby will look to follow up what's been 7 brilliant innings for Logan Gilbert, but now 2 runs that he's responsible for. Who better to play the role of janitor than Aaron Ashby in this inning? Can he clean things up for us? Looking to bunt is Grisham, which kind of defeats the purpose of this lefty-lefty at bat, I think. He got it down, and we have 1 play. Guerrero makes the play. Christian Encarnacion Strand. He's the batter with 2 in scoring position. Why is that not a strike suddenly? We've had a pretty decent strike zone in this game. The changeup swung on and missed. In the air, Vargas retreating. That's going to be a run. Second out. The runner at second stayed put, too. So the Padres got 1 with 2 outs. Ha-Sung Kim could tie the game on a hit. Strike on the sinker. And he's been really good with runners in scoring position. This is an at-bat you want to be careful with. Would love to steal a strike here with one of these. At times he'll chase. He usually makes contact when he does. All right. Soderstrom wants a good curve here. And it's going to find its way through. Speeding around third. The run scores, and the Padres have tied the game. So Gilbert really should only go about 80 pitches, huh? Gave up back-to-back singles, really out of nowhere. He's only had like 5 hits allowed, and 2 of them came at the very end of his outing. Popped up Vierling on a really tough pitch. On to the 9th in a tie ball game. Ryan Weathers, the lefty. He's the one they'll call upon now. Vladimir Guerrero is really not a great hitter against left-handed pitching anymore. It's Guerrero followed by 2 lefties. 1 for 3 on the night. All right, didn't have to swing. So we have to think about who's getting the 9th inning for us then. Sawinski really struggles against lefties. The splits are favorable compared to righties against France. And Pareto with contact. It might just be Ashby. Probably going to stick with him. Guerrero, 1-1. Wow. Way ahead of it. Low ball 3. 3-2. Trying to get that go-ahead run aboard. And Guerrero's going to find his way aboard with his bat. Leadoff single. And we should run for him now. We can slide a rise. We can always make this infield work, but we need to get some speed aboard now. And our fastest player on the bench, yeah, it's going to be Royce Lewis. So you got Sweeney now, and they're kind of guarding against the bunt. Definitely a tricky spot here. In there. 0-2 now. Lewis goes. Pitches outside. Lewis swipes second base. 3rd steal of the season. And now we're hoping Sweeney can advance him. He had 2 strikes there. He went back-to-back fastballs on the second and third pitch, and so I was anticipating he'd go off speed out of the zone on the next pitch, and he did. And then misses low. I'm going to go contact swing here. Made contact, but it's in the air. Would have preferred a ground ball. Although if it went to that side, it probably would have held Lewis at second base anyway. So Aaron Don is up now, and you're going to see Geloff most likely, unless there's an ugly double play. And Geloff's exactly who we want up this inning. I've warmed up Penn Murphy in case we can take a lead here. 2-2. Ooh, that is called ball 3. We should probably be taking here. Weather's dealing. Yep. If it's going to be off speed there, I'm just going to let you have it. Dawn fouls back a change. 3-2 in this critical at-bat. Wow, he's been on that corner 4 times. And then strikes him out looking. 2 gone. And here is Geloff. Hitting .308. Better than that against lefties. Huge spot in the 9th. Strike at the knees. He pulls it to third on the backhand. He pulls him off the bag, extending the 9th. It's an error. And that will give Yusniel Cruz the opportunity to put the A's in front. 2 for 3 on the night, hitting .242. And a drive to left center. Cruz back. It is gone. Yusniel Cruz, number 10. And the A's pull ahead. What a moment for the rookie. It might just be the biggest hit he's supplied. Unbelievable moment for Yusniel Cruz. The error extended the inning. He's been hot lately. It's the perfect storm for the A's offense. And the trend of us supplying most of our runs in late innings continues. He could be a star in the making, and moments like this are how you build towards that. To the 9th inning we go. And we're going to be swapping Arise and Royce Lewis. And bringing in our closer, Penn Murphy, who's 23 for 26 this year. He's done a really nice job. And this is one of those save opportunities where you get that nice 3-run cushion. But you got to face the heart of the Padres order. Starting with Ty France. There's the first strike. Had to get that one over. France behind or ahead and gets ahead 3-1. And that's not close. So leadoff walk. And you got to think about the possibilities of seeing Tatis come off the bench here in one of these at-bats. Kevin Pareda looks at the slider that catches the inside edge. Down looking, 3, perfect. And he finishes it on the outside corner. And that's going to bring up Sawinski. Waving strike 1. On the corner for strike 2. That's a nasty slider. Left that one over the plate, and Sawinski delivers 0-2. Cruz tracks it down, and they will hold the runners, but suddenly the tying run's going to come to the plate with a big-time double. Nice job with that swing, staying with it. Xander Bogaerts. What a spot it is for him now. Out in front. Murphy, good slider to get ahead. 2 strikes. Susak wants the slider again. Just low. Definitely not trying to load the bases here. And it's 3-2. Robert Hassel on deck. Tatis has to be getting ready. 3-2. On the ground, Geloff will only have 1 play. I thought maybe we could get the tag in there, but he was a few steps away. So a run scores. 5-3. Robert Hassel. It's not going to be Fernando Tatis. He's still the tying run. Strike. And a good slider. That's strike 2. 1 more pitch. All right, that's too far low. And it's in the air. Cruz is the perfect player to end it. He put us ahead and seals the latest Oakland A's victory. Not a clean save for Penn Murphy, but it's save 24, and Yusniel Cruz is a major reason why. He put us ahead by 3. And the A's look to take a series in San Diego. It's just a shame that Logan Gilbert pitched as well as he did, and he won't get the victory here. But that's my mistake for leaving him in too long. I guess I will know better for next time. Great job by the Oakland Athletics. They have now won 5 consecutive games. We wrapped the series up with a 9-0 victory, supporting a Henry Vasquez outing that goes 7, allowing 9. We pull him after that, not making the same mistake 2 days in a row. And we put up 21 hits in this game. We didn't have a homer or a triple. 20 singles and 1 double. 20 singles in a game? That's got to be like historic for the franchise at least, or something, you'd think. That's spectacular. And our next series is going to be against the Texas Rangers. It will lead us into the All-Star break. The Rangers do hold a 2-game lead in the division, but this series could still, shake things up a bit in first place. It could go, a lot of ways. But we are seeing the Astros then again cooled off. As quickly as they got hot, they cooled off, 44 and 45, and now 3 of the teams are 6.5 games or more back. A's and Rangers right now going at it for the top spot. What a great series to finish out the first half of the season with. I do want to get a Cole Phillips game in. This would be a great one here against Texas. And we'll probably mostly gloss over the All-Star festivities because we won't really be a big part of it. And then we'll have the MLB draft as well as we prepare for the deadline and setting this team up for the best chance at success the rest of the way. Before we go, though, today I wanted to give you a quick standing update and see if anybody new looks to be sellers. Still got the Blue Jays struggling, Yankees 5 games under 500. In the Central, the Tigers are slipping a little bit, but the Central's so tight. And then in our division, I'm not really looking to trade with these guys a whole lot. In the National League, the Mets clearly in seller form. The Cardinals, Pirates 41 and 45. It's tough to say if you could really call them sellers. They're in it. Diamondbacks clearly not looking great right now, and this is a division that's not tight like the NL Central is. So I'd even consider the Rockies and Giants to be more sellers. Looking at the wild card standings, like the Pirates are 3.5 games out. Giants are 5 out. And in the American League, it's just like the Blue Jays that are mathematically troubled right now. Everybody else is conceivably in it. There aren't a lot of terrible teams this year. You like seeing the offense catch fire here at this portion after our first 40. And we should also check on our team rankings here. Well, Pirates got one of the best offenses in baseball. Our batting average is already up to 7. And our runs are creeping up, but slower than the batting average is. We're average. For home runs, we are creeping up again now, finding ourselves at 12th. I felt like just naturally we wouldn't stay on the pace we were on the first month and a half. I feel good about the team, but I still think an upgrade makes sense. I'll leave you with that. I hope you enjoyed the game today. That was a fun win for us. We've had some seriously fun victories. I just keep having the types of games that make me want to continue playing. And so I am. Thank you all for watching today. Please leave a like, and most importantly, leave your feedback. I love reading that, and I'll definitely be reading this feedback, I believe, before I record more of the series, so I'll be able to talk about what you guys have to say. Oh, and I saw y'all in one of the previous videos having fun with me, trying to sell you on Luke Weaver a few months ago and how far we've come in the time in this series. It's pretty awesome. Y'all have a great rest of your day, rest of your weekend. See you next time.